Picture this, a crisp, starry night in Bethlehem, around 2,000 years ago. A lowly manger serves as the birthplace for a baby, destined to reshape the course of history. Wise men, guided by a radiant star, journey from afar bearing precious gifts. Shepherds, alerted by angelic messengers, gather to pay their respects. This isn't your ordinary baby shower, it's a celestial celebration. And thus, in a humble stable, under a sky full of stars, Jesus was born. Fast forward a few years, and baby Jesus is now a precocious youngster. Picture this, a young boy in a temple, astonishing the scholars with his wisdom. He's not just any boy, mind you, but one who speaks with an understanding and authority that belies his tender age. His keen insights and profound knowledge leave the scholars scratching their heads in wonder. Now let's jump ahead a bit. Jesus, still a young man, stands in the Jordan River. John the Baptist, a fiery preacher known for his call to repentance, is beside him. The moment is significant, marking the start of Jesus' ministry. As John baptizes Jesus, there's a sense of something extraordinary brewing, a sense of a mission that's about to unfold. And so our boy wonder grows into a man, ready to take on the world, one sermon at a time. Now, Jesus wasn't your average Joe. He was more of a water into wine and feeding thousands with a few loaves and fishes kind of guy. Imagine going to a wedding, the wine runs out, and it's an embarrassing situation for the hosts. But Jesus, being the life of the party, steps in, turns some water into wine, and saves the day. And this wasn't any run-of-the-mill wine, it was top-shelf stuff. Then there was the time he fed a crowd of thousands with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Now, I don't know about you, but I struggle to make a sandwich stretch for 2 people. But Jesus, he had a knack for making food stretch that would put any thrifty mum to shame. And let's not forget his parables, stories with a moral punch that made people sit up and think. Like the story of the Good Samaritan, a tale about a man who helps a stranger in need when others had passed him by. It was Jesus' way of saying, hey, let's be kind to one another, all right? Or the prodigal son, a young man who squanders his inheritance only to return home, expecting to be shunned, but instead is welcomed back with open arms by his father. A heartwarming tale of forgiveness and unconditional love. Jesus, the miracle worker, had quite the knack for turning ordinary situations into extraordinary tales. But every story has an end, and so does our heroes. Imagine, if you will, a simple meal amongst friends, a last supper of sorts. Our hero, Jesus, breaking bread, sharing wine, knowing that one amongst them would soon betray him. There's a certain irony there, isn't it? As the story unfolds, we see our hero in a garden praying, then betrayed with a kiss. A trial, a cross, a hill called Calvary. It's a tale of sacrifice, of love beyond understanding, yet there's a twist. Remember, we're talking about a man who turned water into wine, who walked on water. So a mere death couldn't hold him. 3 days later he rose, triumphant over death itself. In the end, it's not just a tale of a hero's demise, but also of his victory. His story on earth may have ended, but his legacy, his message of love and forgiveness, is eternal. And so, Jesus' story on earth ended, but his legacy lives on, resonating through the ages. So, what's the takeaway from this millennia-old story? Jesus' life, his teachings, and his sacrifice have left an indelible mark on humanity. His teachings, filled with messages of love, compassion, and forgiveness, have shaped minds and hearts, inspiring countless individuals to lead a life of kindness and empathy. His life story isn't just a series of events, but the foundation of Christianity, a faith that has grown and flourished over 2,000 years, profoundly influencing philosophy, art, culture, and laws across the globe. And how is his life celebrated today? Well, from the ringing of church bells on a quiet Sunday morning to the joyous carols echoing on a frosty Christmas Eve, his life is commemorated and his message is kept alive. His journey, from humble beginnings in a manger in Bethlehem to his profound impact on the world, continues to inspire, guide, and light up lives. And that, folks, is the whirlwind tour of Jesus' life. From a starry night in Bethlehem to a legacy that lights up the world.